Well, good evening to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. I wanted to get on here and talk about a few things. First off, I want to talk about TJPW and Tokyo Story, as those two played a very integral role on the recent TJPW Texas tour. And then after that, I am going to preview the upcoming Sendai Girls Senjo the Biggest show that'll be later in August. The full card has been released for that show, so I definitely wanted to go ahead and give my preview of it. But first, let's talk about TJPW and Tokyo Story. So, for those that don't remember, Tokyo Story was who TJPW partnered up. It was either some sort of partnership slash sponsorship sort of thing that these two came together when they did their TJPW Texas tour, where they did 2 shows in Houston and 1 show in Dallas. Now, of course, TJPW did something spectacular during this tour as they broke their overall attendance record. That's right, I believe it was the Dallas show that broke the company's or the promotion's attendance record. Like, even with shows in Japan, this Dallas show broke the record. That's huge. I mean, it even did better than Summer Sun Princess that just happened not too long ago. And the show that had the record previously, I believe, was Grand Princess last year, if I remember correctly. But I came across a thread, courtesy of Dramatic DDT on X/Twitter, and apparently it was the transcript from an interview that took place. Apparently, Battle News interviewed Akira Takahashi from CyberFight, who's the executive vice president slash TJPW business general manager, and Yoichiro Shimizu from Tokyo Story. He's the president of Tokyo Story. And it was pretty much in regards to the Texas tour that happened last month. So I wanted to go through and read through this thread and just kind of share of what was discussed. Like I said, shout out to Dramatic DDT on Twitter/X for providing all this details. Pretty much, I assume it's from, the translated interview. But I'm going to go over it all. So let's start from the top. Says Shimizu, the president of Tokyo Story, doesn't know much about wrestling, but he knows people who like DDT. He used a connection to attend last September's Ryogoku show, which is how he discovered Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. He then heard Sanshiro Takagi was doing a lecture in Roppongi, so the idea felt like fate. Okay, continuing on. He thinks toys and idols are the best way to spread Japanese culture in Texas, so he knew the idea would work. Women's wrestling being viable in Japan motivated him, so he wondered why it can succeed over there, but is treated like an afterthought in the USA and Europe. Akira, the CyberFight executive vice president, says Akira was half excited, half nervous about the idea. Up to this point, TJPW worked with local companies to do joint shows. For example, GCW, Prestige, examples like that. Up to this point, TJPW worked with local companies to do joint shows, but this was their first time doing it on their own and in a new location. It was a test because complete failure meant they might never do it again, which, like I said, that was their first time doing a show in Texas, but not a collab show, specifically TJPW shows. And they did 3 of them, 2 in Houston, 1 in Dallas. Let's continue. It says one factor Akira looked at was Tokyo's story is not from the wrestling industry, but had local sensibilities, so all of the tour's marketing were left to them. Shimizu promoted the TJPW tour at a Tokyo X convention and found out that many attendees recognized Maki Ito, the cutest in the world. Since some parts of Texas has a conservative population that Shimizu said is still prejudiced against female showmanship, Tokyo Story came up with the tagline in TJPW Women Are Heroes to emphasize that this tour wasn't going to be marketed on sex appeal for men. Interesting. Akira explained how the advertising was done differently in America. They had billboard adverts located at major roads, which isn't something they get to do in Japan. The venue locations were also key because it is a very car-reliant society. Big parking lots helped. Shimizu hired influencers for $300. One of them uploaded a 7-second video of Mizuki, the popping sugar rabbit, who's also the current Princess of Princess champion. It went viral, and $10,000 worth of tickets were sold in one day as a result. Ticket sales steadily increased from there, giving Akira confidence that TJPW tickets are worth buying. Akira felt from the atmosphere during the shows that many people who attended them were not really into wrestling. However, some locals, as well as Konosuke Takeshita, told him Texas does have a strong base of wrestling fans. There was an old man Akira met at the hotel he was staying at who told him stories about Bobo Brazil. The next morning, he found the man watching clips of Mizuki on YouTube. The man then called Akira over to tell him how amazing Mizuki is. The moment made Akira more confident that TJPW can resonate with longtime wrestling fans. He also noticed how the Shoko versus Miyu match got so much crowd reaction for everything they did, even the basics. The relaxed atmosphere feels like something unique to Texas. Shimizu said, when it comes to big cities, Houston and Dallas are completely different to Tokyo and Osaka. But with the recent boom of interest in Japanese content, Texas is a hungry market for that stuff, and they capitalized on it. Most ticket buyers were men, around 90% for Houston, while Dallas had more couples and families. Tickets sold at Tokyo X were mostly to women, so there are still potential customers that hadn't reached with their marketing. Akira thinks they could have pushed the idols more. Excuse me. Shimizu thinks they can tap more into family demand. There's a married couple who worked with them. The wife was uncomfortable at first because she thought it was going to be a sleazy show. But she learned it is not that kind of entertainment and found it family friendly. And you know, let me pause there. And when you think about it, you look at TJPW. Aside from the filthy mouth of Maki Ito, TJPW shows usually seem to be family friendly, good dose of comedy, not very serious and heavy in the storylines like that. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. That analysis makes sense. Anyway, let's continue. They would like to do another Texas tour next year. They are aiming to do shows in at least 3 cities, with Houston, Dallas, and Austin as the likely locations. They would also like to reach the Dallas attendance numbers for all of them. the same Dallas attendance numbers that, broke their record. Ticket sales were over 20 million yen, so the tour was profitable just from that alone. There's plenty of room for growth if they can attract more local sponsors. They think the meet and greet could be done better because it was difficult for first-timers to understand. Tokyo Story works with Bandai Namco for their gashapon toys. They were really happy with Palm Harajuku's use of the gacha machines on the last show. The wrestlers were surprised they were allowed to do whatever they wanted with the machine as long as they didn't break it. Let me stop right there. From the TJPW shows I've been to, especially here in the US, which I've only been to one in Japan, but the rest of them that I've been to here in the US. Even just something like the TJPW show they did in Philly, where Rika Tatsumi purchased the Liquid Death drinks and, used those during the match. Things like that. I like how creative they can get. With Andres the Giant Panda, with Hyper Misao on the hero bike. They get very creative. Shoko Nakajima with all the kaijus used in a match. It's very unique, and it's something that TJPW does very well at. Let's continue. Shimizu and Akira loved that it resulted in gotcha chants during a wrestling match, especially since it happened naturally and it wasn't done as forced product placement. It showed how much TJPW's characters connected with everybody without the need for localization. TJPW and Tokyo Story will continue working with each other, believing they wouldn't be able to maximize their efforts otherwise. It hasn't been decided if this will become an annual tour. They could also move the tour dates away from July. And lastly, when asked about scouting wrestlers from Texas, Akira is interested in the idea. He would love to create a TJPW USA in the future. He can call it Texas Joshi Pro Wrestling to keep the TJPW brand. He has ambition to use Texas as the foundation for a national expansion. End thread. So, there you have it right there. I think it definitely serves as more proof that TJPW is serious about expanding their market, especially in the US. Look at what they just did last month in Texas. That's fuel. That is fuel for future IDs or future ideas. And when you think about it, it's not really that big of a surprise with a promotion like TJPW. Because as I mentioned before, I feel like they have a very flexible schedule that I feel like they have some wiggle room in the times where there's openings, where there's like the house shows and not really too much craziness going on. Because when you really think about it, you look at the typical lineup of big shows and tournaments for TJPW, there's not that many. I mean, let's think about it. Let's break it down once again. What are the three big shows of the year for TJPW? Grand Princess, Summer Sun Princess, Wrestle Princess. Okay. You also got your big tournaments. The Next Generation Rookie Tournament, the Futariwa Princess Tag Team Tournament, and the Tokyo Princess Cup Single Elimination Tournament. Aside from that, I mean, and they're spread out very well. So honestly, I truly feel like there is potential that they could, start off doing like a yearly USA tour. And hey, if they want to make Texas home base for those operations, so be it. So be it. I mean, who knows? This could be equivalent to, say, the New Japan Dojo LA, but with something like for TJPW here in the US. Or, kind of like Dragon Gate USA was a thing, which could be coming back, fingers crossed. But for TJPW, after all, they've done some shows here, collab shows, and now like solo shows. They've had talent from here and other countries compete in TJPW in Japan. So honestly, I really feel like they have the reins to be able to do a legit US expansion. And honestly, the evidence is there that maybe the Texas tour is what presented them the idea. Now they just have to jumpstart it from there and really figure out how they can sustain that and build on that. Because let's keep it real. I'm pretty confident that there will be more TJPW tours in the US. And the thing is, with last month happening with the Texas tour, this is even bigger proof that they don't necessarily have to do a collab show in order to make a profit, in order to have a great turnout. They can do their own shows in the States. Now, I'm not saying that they have to end any partnership or collaboration with anybody, whether it's, GCW, Prestige, whatever, MLW, whatever. But at least they can confidently put a show on as a promotion, as a solo promotion, and make a profit and do well. Market it well and make it a success. Now, I definitely think, they're going to want to build up their sponsorships. They want to get more sponsors, build up that sponsorship. That's going to go a long way in really having a successful turnout as far as the idea of a expansion here in the U.S. And who knows? I mean, right now it's August. They'll probably do at least one more show in the States before the end of this year. Maybe. That's just a prediction. But honestly, I got a feeling they're going to start really planning heavy for next year as far as whatever shows they're going to do in the States. And like I said, I think Texas is going to be home base if they do decide to do a TJPW USA. That can be home base. I also hope they bring back That's JPW, because I really enjoyed those matches where they had Chris Brooks and Unagi and interviewing the competitors, and they spoke English, and then they had the matches. I thought that was really cool. I wish they would bring that back. Especially, I think it would be perfect for when they do shows in the U.S. But we'll see. But honestly, I think it's awesome. I think it's really awesome that this turned out so well, and this collaboration, this partnership with TJPW and Tokyo Story, I hope lasts, and I hope really they can come together and do what's necessary and make this TJPW USA expansion a reality. But we'll see. And I'll put a link to the thread in the description so y'all can check it out and see for yourselves. But I'm proud of TJPW. As somebody that's been to some TJPW shows, met some of the wrestlers as well, I hope that TJPW continues to be a success, not only in Japan, but even around the world. So, good stuff. Okay. Now, want to switch gears and talk about, or preview another upcoming Sendai Girls show that's got quite a solid card to it. And, oh, 1 second. And, okay, sorry about that. The show is called SENJO the Biggest. SENJO the Biggest, which will be happening on Sunday, August 24th, and it will be at the Zebbio Arena. I hope I said that correctly. Zebbio Arena in Sendai, Japan. And got a good number of matches on here, including just a few championship matches, but there are championship matches on this card. So let's go ahead and let's jump right on into it. Let me get my graphics out. All right. Let's do it. First match. All righty. We got ourselves a tag team match. We got the combination of Stardom's Natsupoi and Starlight Kid, and they will be taking on the team of Unagi Sayaka and Yurika Oka. Very interesting match here. Very interesting combo of teams. But always good to see these four ladies, especially Unagi Sayaka, Starlight Kid, who I've met them both. For this one, I'm going to say Natsupoi, Starlight Kid pick up the victory. Something tells me probably Yurika Oka is going to take the pin. But yeah, I'm going to say Starlight Kid, Natsupoi pick up the win. But should be good. Should be a really good match. But yeah, a lot of history between Unagi Sayaka and Natsupoi as well. So, should be good. All right, continuing on with tag team action is our next match. Check this one out. All right, more tag team action as we have the team of Spike Nishimura and Chi-Chi, and they will be taking on the team of Manami and Sadie Gibbs. Wow. Wow. This is a very intriguing matchup. Very intriguing matchup. Haven't seen Spike Nishimura in a while. Not since the Sendai Girls World Junior Championship tournament that they did a good long while back. So it's been a hot minute since I've seen her. Let's see. I am good. Well, hadn't seen Sadie Gibbs in a minute. I'm gonna say Manami Sadie Gibbs picks up the victory in this one. Honestly, could probably go either way, but I'm gonna say Manami and Sadie Gibbs pick up the victory for this one. But very intriguing tag match here for sure. All right. Let's go to our next match, which this ought to be very interesting. Check this one out. Next match. Oh, actually, no, that is not the next match. I'm so sorry. Let me fix that. This is the next match. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. So, the Sendai Girls World Junior Championship on the line. This match is happening for the third time. But the champion, Aya Sakura, will defend against YUNA. YUNA gets yet another shot at this title, but she earned it by defeating Akira Kuragane in a number one contendership match. Well, Will third time be the charm? Honestly, it's like, dang, y'all couldn't have Aya Sakura, like, defended against anybody else along the way? It's just been YUNA? Honestly, it'll be kind of sad if YUNA wins, after just Aya Sakura has only defended the title. Now this would make a total of 3 times to the same person. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a Stardom talent holding a Sendai Girls Championship. Honestly, I guess third time will probably be the charm and YUNA will win. I guess just to finally have the title back on Sendai Girls turf. But honestly, I mean, I'm sure this match will be good, but it's like, I mean, we're getting this again. Like, the hype has kind of died down. So, I think it could go either way, but I don't know. I'm thinking YUNA will probably, third time will be the charm and she'll probably win the title. So, that's all I can say. I'm going to leave it at that. But, yeah. Okay, now we go to this next match. This is the next match. Okay, singles action. We got Super Sasadango Machine versus Jinsei Shinzaki. Most of y'all may have known him from WWE as Hakushi. I'm going to assume that this is going to be mainly a potential comedy match, but I got to go with Jinsei Shinzaki to pick up the victory. But, I mean, I'm sure this is going to be mainly a comedy match, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Jinsei Shinzaki is my pick. That's who I'm going with. Okay, let's go to this next matchup. All right, we have ourselves an 8-person tag match. So, oh Lord. We got the team of Kuroshio, Tokyo, Japan, Rydeen Hagane, Kurumi Hiiragi, and Yura Suzuki. I believe that's who that is. Taking on the Senjo Great Kannon, Shin, Sakura, Hirota, Miyuki, Takase, and Soy. The Senjo Great Kannon. Huh? I really don't know. Oh, that's Rydeen Steel. I'm sorry. Not Rydeen Hagane, it's Rydeen Steel. My apologies. I said that wrong. Oh God. I got a feeling that this is gonna be probably another comedy match, so to speak. Probably a very chaotic comedy match. I mean, shoot. I mean, honestly, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Oh, man. I really don't know how to go about this, to be honest with you. I mean, well, I mean, well, I don't know. I'm mainly just gonna go with, I guess team number two. Senjo, Great Kannon, Shin, Sakura, Hirota, Miyuki, Takase, and Soi. I, I don't really know what to expect, so this is just my best guess. It's a very weird combination of wrestlers in a match like this. That's all I can say. Just it's freaking weird, but it is what it is. Should be interesting. Should be interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Wow. This next match is the main match that I'm looking forward to the most on this card. Check this one out. Oh yeah, we got ourselves a hardcore tag team match where we will have the team of Risa Sera and Hazuki to take on the team of the hardcore queen Dash Chizako and the legendary Aja Kong. I definitely believe this has the chance to be the match of the card. But who gets the victory? This one's tough. This one's really tough. Although Hazuki did beat Dash Chizako when they had their hardcore match at Senjo the New Era. I like all four of these ladies. I've met three of them. I've met Aja Kong, Hazuki, and Risa Sera. Hope I get a chance to meet Dash Chizako next time I'm in Japan. Honestly, I think Dash Chizako is going to get that win back. So I'm going to say Dash Chizako and Aja Kong pick up the win. But this should be an incredible match. I'm excited about this match. This match is going to rock, for sure. I have no doubt. This match is going to rock. Okay, let's go to this next matchup. Check this one out. Alrighty, we have ourselves a singles match between Sari and Mika Iwata. This should be hard-hitting. Definitely back and forth. Something tells me this is going to be a time limit draw. I think this is going to end up being a time limit draw. But it should be an awesome match. Should be an awesome match. I like both of these ladies. I've met Sari, but I'm pretty pumped for this match. This should be hard-hitting, back and forth. Should be a very enjoyable match, but I think it'll be a time limit draw. And then the main event of Senjo, the biggest, comes down to this. All right, we have the Sendai Girls World Tag Team Championships on the line as the champions. Team 200 kilograms. That's Chihiro Hashimoto and Yu defending the titles against the team of Lena Cross and Vinny. Speaking of which, I'm gonna get a chance to see Lana Cross this upcoming Friday at DPW Carry Showdown. Um, Definitely think Team 200 kilograms will retain. I believe this is their first defense of said tag titles. I believe this is their first defense. But I believe they're going to pick up the victory and retain the tag titles. Because, like I said, I could see them holding on to those tag titles probably up until just before Yu retires. But we'll see how that goes. But going with Team 200 kilograms to retain. A solid card. A solid yet interesting card for the show. But it should be good. Should be really good. That is August 24th. Definitely check it out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be live stream, just like the other one was. So, Wrestle Universe. Definitely get on it. But that's all I have for this video. Let me know your thoughts about the relationship with TJPW and Tokyo Story. What do you think about the possibility of a TJPW USA expansion in the future? What would you like to see from that? How do you think that'll come about? Do you think it'll be successful in the long run? And let me know your predictions for the matches for Senjo the Biggest, coming up at late August. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube, I'm Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video and our live stream. Peace.